the smoke is too much. They can't enter. And I'm like, don't you have protective gears? Don't you have a plan? What can you do? We were just screaming. Now people were like, they don't have water. And they said, no, we have water. Oh, goodness. I was just standing there and crying because everything was going. Everything. I couldn't take anything, not even my passport, nothing. I live with my mom. My mom has a garden at the back of the house. So, I mean, a woman who is almost 80, she's always bored. She wants to do gardening stuff. So she always goes to her farm. That's what she calls it, every morning. So apparently she went to do her regular farming and she gathered some weeds, and she bent it. So according to her, the fire had gone down and she left and she went to relax. So my household made lunch and went to give her food. So when she was going back to my side of the apartment, then she could perceive smoke. So she went through the corridor and she realized that the smoke is coming from the back. So my room faces the back itself. So she said she went to open my door. And the room, the smoke had engulfed the whole room. So she shut it back and quickly ran to Grandma's place and said, Grandma, are you burning something at the back of the house? And she said, medumno, diasem. So both of them walked to the back of the house and saw that fire was raising the whole place. By then, my cousin had gone to pick my first daughter from school. So he got back and came to meet the fire. And they went to open the polytank, and my cousin and my household started pouring water on the fire. So when they were pouring water, the smoke was coming. So they decided that they should take Grandma and the kids out of the house. So they took Grandma and the kids out and drove the 2 cars out of the house. And when they tried coming back to save whatever, the smoke had engulfed the whole house. So they started calling fire service. So I was in town in Tema, all right, not too far. Then a neighbor called me that Beverly, your house is on fire. There was so much traffic from where I was going. I had to park my car, jumped on Okada, and quickly get to my house. When I got there, by God's grace, fire service was there all right. But over 40 minutes, they didn't know what to do. They said the smoke is too much, so they can't enter. The smoke is too much. They can't enter. And I'm like, don't you have protective gears? Don't you have a plan? What can you do? We were just screaming. Now people were like, they don't have water. And they said, no, we have water. But the smoke, the second car came. Now that second car also came and was trying to give this one water and was trying to start a generator that wouldn't start in 15 minutes. They would start it and it would go off. They would start it and it would go off. Then a third car came. Then they didn't know what to do. Then people, the neighbors around, everybody had gathered in front of the street, and they now told them that they should go to the back of the house. The neighbor that I share a wall with, they should go there and go into their house and now start pouring water. That was how they started quenching the fire. And I'm thinking, don't you have plans? Aren't you equipped? Don't you know how to deal with these things? Fire comes with smoke, for crying out loud. How can you tell me because there's smoke you can't get your hose in there, or like, oh goodness. I was just standing there and crying because everything was going. Everything. I couldn't take anything, not even my passport, nothing. How I went out in my slippers, it wasn't like I was even going out for a function that I would say I was stressed. I was just wearing a t-shirt and leggings and a handbag, sunglasses, my face mask, nothing. That was all. And everything was gone. My kids were saved by God's grace, and that's all. Nobody has anything.